But yay, I'm so happy to see Kimberly and Marcy here. We're going to be talking about the new products that were released at convention, and I'm going to share some research about some of the products that we've been falling in love with for the last year or so, and tell you some exciting things about the protocols and the benefits that people are finding with that. So, Kimberly, you want to start us off?
Absolutely. So, one of the newest products, and we knew this was coming at leadership, is we got castor oil. And I know some people go, castor oil, it brings back memories of being a child and maybe having to drink it so you could have a bowel movement or something like that. The bottom line, this stuff is amazing. And why is it so amazing? Because it acts as this beautiful barrier for your skin and your hair, and it creates this moisture that our bodies need, especially living out here in the West, right, Marcy? We get so dried out
Yeah.
here. So this is a moisture-rich oil, and it is high. It's got this thing called ricinoleic acid. And what that does is it basically helps lock in the moisture. So if we put it on our skin, it locks in the moisture instead of it being, absorbed by the dry air. It supports smooth skin. And I was just telling Wendy, using this on a daily basis because we've got in our ebook, we've got a great recipe for the super serum that we made at the doTERRA convention in 2024. And I've been using it every day on my skin, and I cannot believe how beautifully soft it is. All right. By using this every day. And stays soft and, you know, way into the day. Other moisturizers, by afternoon, I feel my skin drying out again. This seals it in. It's amazing. It's the same for your scalp and your hair. So I actually was using a lot of hair products with my hair short. I kind of need gel to do this, right? To keep it standing up. And guess what I'm using instead? The castor oil. It's amazing. And so my hair feels so much softer and better because it was really dried out from all of the gels have alcohol and lots of chemicals in there. Even though I try to find the cleanest ones out there, there is none. So the gel, this is great. Now, if you've got long straight hair, you might not want to do it because it might look oily. I don't know because I don't have hair.
Yeah.
I have this little thing, but I would try it at least at nighttime and just massage your scalp, which is so good for us anyway. It's just good for our nervous system to do something kind to ourselves. Not to mention that if you add rosemary or lavender and cedarwood to it and you give yourself a scalp massage, it helps stimulate hair growth. Okay. So, and as we get older, our hair thins a little bit. I'm losing hair just in one little area. It's just, I noticed a little bit less. So, I've been really putting it right in there. So, this is just the most amazing stuff. And, people may not be so excited about castor oil. The bottom line is why doTERRA? Because we know their standards. We know that they have only the best castor oil. It is in a glass bottle. It's hexane free, so there's no chemical uh, items in it to reap the benefits of getting the oil out of the castor beans. So there's just so many ways. So that ebook, we're going to go through that in a little bit too.
So, can you see that on the screen, Kimberly?
Yep, it's there.
Yeah, there it is. So there's the hair, brows and lashes recipe, but you mentioned lavender, rosemary, and cedarwood for your scalp. So you could take this same recipe and just put it into a 30 ml dropper bottle, right? And you could just apply it to the scalp. And then there's this serum that Kimberly mentioned. You can put it again in a dropper bottle. And I put mine in a roller bottle because that's what I had. It's one of these big 30 ml.
Hold it up close, Wendy, so she can see. It's a giant. It's a 30 ml as opposed to the 10 ml. So it's a big chunky bottle and it's fabulous for rolling it all over your face.
Yeah. And then there's this recipe. I've included some instructions for dry brushing and some of the essential oils that you would want to use to support your health. There's the digestive support with specific recommendations for the essential oils to remedy your scenario, and then detoxification and to reduce muscle and joint discomfort. and one for the young girls that are dealing with menstrual pain. And Kimberly, I don't know if you brought out your castor pack. Do you still have that close
I
by?
can go grab it real quick, but
Yeah, so that could be really interesting for people to look at because I've mentioned it to some people and they're not familiar with a castor pack. So what we learned, Marcy, at convention was if you apply your essential oils on your body in that neat application without any fraction of coconut oil or castor oil, that only 4% of the essential oil product gets into the body. If you use it with fractionated coconut oil or the castor oil, 10% of it gets into your body. But when you use a carrier oil with your essential oil and then cover it with a castor oil pack, it's a 70% absorption rate. I
it's a
know it's huge. So
wow.
there's really great reasons to use the product with a pack. And so Kimberly's got that right there. I'm going to come out of share so you can see it a little bit better.
So I have a whole pack and it came with like 8 or 10 different ones. So it has straps on it, as you can see. So you take this castor oil pack, and then it also comes with little pads on the inside. So you put the pad underneath it here, and then you just wrap this around like right here over your liver if you're doing a detox, or let's say your back is out, your muscles. My ribs were out the other day from coughing. And so I put deep blue. I rolled the deep blue onto the area that was hurting. And then I took the pack. So I did the deep blue and the castor oil. Then I put the pack on top of it and I went to bed that way so that it could just soak in. And that castor oil creates this barrier that drives the oils in, just kind of like, any sort of carrier oil we've been taught, right? That's why we use fractionated coconut oil. It helps for the absorption of the essential oils. Well, the castor oil um, bumps it up even more so because that moisture barrier stays there for a while. And you don't want to get it on your clothes, so that's why you have these little pads. Well,
Where do you get those pads?
I got them on Amazon.
Oh,
I just type in castor oil packs,
wow.
and they have all different ones, but this one, I looked at a bunch of them, and then this one has breast ones too. So anybody who's, just breast health in general, or anybody who has had any cancer scares or tumors or anything like that, to be able to put some of the oils for that with
Hmm.
little pads. And then you just put your bra over it, or a t-shirt would hold it in place. And then it even comes with ones for your arms, and it just has a Velcro strap on it like this. So if you had something, maybe your shoulder or something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah. And so it comes with all these little goodies, and it has one for the throat for the thyroid.
Oh,
Well, it's actually for your eyes. It's actually an eye mask, but I wanted it for a thyroid because, just keeping our thyroid strong, or anybody who's got thyroid issues or adrenal issues, you just put the oil on your throat, right? The myrrh and frankincense,
mhm.
and then you would put this on there with the castor oil, and it just drives that in for the evening while you're sleeping.
Nice.
And this is called a castor oil pack on Amazon.
Yep, that's exactly what it's called. The
That
castor oil.
tells me there are thousands of people that know about castor oil packs, and I never heard of them
Right.
because that wouldn't be available on Amazon. A
Yep.
new day. Thank you,
Yeah.
ladies.
Castor oil has become very popular, and I've seen a lot of information. There's a lot of people that are in the wellness industry that are recommending the castor oil packs for the last couple of years. So it's become even increasingly more mainstream now. And doTERRA, uh, waited till they could find the correct castor oil and the correct growers because they're so particular, which is what we love about doTERRA. We know anything we use from them is clean, and it's been sourced clean and all of that. So anyway, so we're super excited about castor oil, even though we might be considered nerds. That's okay. We're castor oil nerds. So moving on to our next product, past tense has been around forever. And I think you remember it, Marcy. It came in the roller ball,
Yep.
and you use it for head tension, neck aches and any sort of tension in your neck and head, even fever. So, but I never cared for the smell of it. It was very, very strong. However, it works
It
amazing.
worked.
It really
Yeah.
does. But it was powerful. And it sometimes a lot came out too. So I would always warn people, just put a little on and then use your hands, right? So guess what they did? They came in this little teeny mini one, and it's just so cute. And it's the new cast and look, it's like a mini version. This is the deep blue size, right? And look at the size here. It's just so teeny. And it's perfect because you can keep it in your purse. And they've added sweet gum to it. And sweet gum has calming effects. So it just adds one more layer of help into this nifty little stick. And with that sweet gum and with it being in a base of the shea butter base, it's not as strong. So, you're not going to offend anybody. And if you're on a plane, now I've been in the habit of using stuff on the plane, and sometimes people are like, what's that smell? Right? Yeah, because it's so potent. So this is a little less, whoa, and it's effective. So anybody who's got any sort of, chronic head stuff going on, which there's a lot of people that are suffering from it, they need to have this in their purse, and it's small enough where a guy could even carry it in his pocket.
I got
So
one. It's nice. I like it.
Good.
so that's that, and now we're going to move into the other good stuff. So Wendy,
Yeah.
you take it away now.
All right, I'm going to talk to you about detoxification. And one of my big aha moments from convention was that 97% of Americans carry industrial chemicals in their bodies. Yikes, 97%. And that we ingest the equivalent of a credit card in plastic every week. And there are over 5.5 billion pounds of agricultural residues applied to our foods. And these don't wash off. Sometimes you think, oh, I'll just wash that apple. But of course, it gets right into the fruit itself. So, one of the messages that we got from convention was that your body isn't broken, it's busy and it's prioritizing all of these chemicals and it's really overwhelmed. And so, doTERRA has created a new product to help us detoxify our organs, and we can use it for daily use. I always think it's a good idea to start with a little self-assessment. Like, does this product seem like it would be helpful for me? What benefits will I find? And so if you answered yes to any of these questions, then I would recommend this product. So one of them is, do you feel tired? And the other one is, do you wake up with aches and pains? Is it harder to lose weight now than it used to be? Or maybe you're struggling with some embarrassing digestive issues, some digestive drama, as I call it. So maybe you have gas or bloat or constipation, or it's that brain fog that you're dealing with. And so these are all signs that your body is overwhelmed and your detoxification system is asking for a little extra support. So prior to a convention, we were familiar with a product called Zendocrine. And doTERRA went back into Zendocrine and they gave it a good upgrade. So they adjusted some of the proportions of the essential oils in Zendocrine, and they also added a couple of things. They added ginger to help with digestion and circulation. So this new one is called Revita Zen. There it is right there. And it is a essential oil supplement. So, of course, you can take this one internally. And it has the same essential oils as the Zendocrine had, the tangerine, the geranium, the juniper berry, the cilantro, and the rosemary. So they just gave it a good upgrade. And you can use that, again, as I mentioned, it can take it internally. So you could put a couple of drops in a veggie cap. You could also diffuse it, put 3 or 4 drops in your diffuser. Or my choice would be to put it with my castor oil and make a castor oil pack to support my liver. So the way I might do that is to take 3 drops of my oil, put that in the palm of my hand, and then I would take a bit of my castor oil, just enough that would pour out. And it's been like a maybe like a dime's worth. I can control that much. And then I would put it right on the right side of my abdomen and cover it with a pack. So that could be one way to use it. And the instructions for that are in the ebook that I'll go ahead and send you with the recording, Marcy.
Thank you.
So I also think it's a great idea if you can really understand where your liver health is. Is it working well? Does it need a little support? And so Kimberly and I both have invested in this really wonderful tool. It's called a Zyto hand scanner. And it is a simple, very effective way to take a look at the organs of the body and the organs of detoxification in particular. And what I've been finding is most of the people that I sit with and do the scan with do need some liver support. So that could be a great way for them to understand the benefit of using the Vitazen. So, Marcy, where are you living these days? Are you in the Reno area still?
Hidden Valley, yeah.
There you go. So Kimberly
Like,
just got herself the Zyto. So I'm gonna tell you that
I'll be seeing you.
Kimberly's ready to see you. But it'll give you a really great targeted protocol. And then you can come back after a few months and do another scan and see what kind of benefits you had.
I'm on.
Okay. And for those of you listening to the recording, you're welcome to contact me or Kimberly, of course, and schedule a scan. We're happy to help you do that.
and I wanted to mention one thing. Wendy was talking about putting it right on the castor oil pack. Um, we talked earlier about that big roller ball. I took a 10 ml roller ball and I just took the Revitazen. I think I did 30 drops of Revitazen and the rest castor oil in one of those rollers. And so that way I got it sitting right there at the side of my bed. And when I feel I want to give my liver a little more love, or my kidneys, either way, then I will just put that Revitazen and roll it right over that area and then just put that pack right over it and go to sleep. So
Yeah.
that's what I did.
Great.
I want ease. I don't want to have to get my, because guess what happens? The first few days I use this, oh, I have to run into my office to grab my essential oil. Then I have to run into my bathroom to get my castor oil. And then, oh yeah, my castor oil packs are in my drawer. So now I have everything streamlined. So it's not a pain in the butt by just making a roller ball of it with it. It's ready and my castor oil can be where it needs to be. So that's
Yay.
another thought.
Great. Great. They also upgraded the Zendocrine Detoxification Complex. And I don't know if you ever used that, Marcy, but they've given us an upgrade for that product as well. And it's a mouthful, it's the Revitazen Advanced Organ Detoxification Complex. Here it
Wow.
is right here. And so it's not a typical cleanse. It works with your body. You're not going to be spending all day in the bathroom. You're not going to be uncomfortable. It's really meant for daily use. Since toxins don't take a day off, they're in our environment every day. So you're just going to give your body continued support. It's a dual chamber capsule, similar to the frankincense that we have and the PB Restore that we have. So I don't know if you can see that. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can see it's got some essential oils in there. That is the oil from the blend that I just talked about, the Revitazen blend. But it also has two other additional essential oils. One of them is black cumin seed essential oil, and the other one is cumin essential oil. And they together help the immune system and, of course, support the liver. On the interior of the capsule, you have a botanical blend of milk thistle and artichoke leaf, and those are used for healthy bile flow and antioxidant protection. It was interesting the timing of all this. Kimberly and I talked about this, how we learned that Tylenol has been interrupting our glutathione, which is a liver antioxidant. It's a super antioxidant, and repeated use of Tylenol chips away at that glutathione level. Well, this can be a great way to support liver detoxification and antioxidant support. So they help to boost glutathione, those two botanicals that I mentioned, the artichoke leaf and the milk thistle, and they are the master detoxifier for the body. Okay. Okay, and glutathione, low glutathione is linked to liver stress, and so daily support could be a game changer. Okay. All right, so those were the castor oil, the Revitazen essential oil, the past tense, and of course the advanced organ detoxification complex. The other piece of information that I wanted to share with you is about our foundational wellness products. Are you familiar with those, Marcy?
I used that since the day I signed up with doTERRA. The
Lifelong
previous,
vitality, the
yeah,
lifelong vitality.
lifelong
Yes.
vitality. And then I happily switched to just one little thing I could shake in the morning.
Good.
And Then I was diagnosed with hereditary hemochromatosis. And the doctor said I have to find a vitamin that has no iron and no vitamin C. And
Oh,
I'm lost.
wow. Okay. All right. So that's a very specific case,
Right.
right? Very specific. So what we'll talk about next is how the VMG is the replacement or another option from the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And we love this because it's a liposomal delivery. So it goes right from the stomach right into the bloodstream, 90 whole foods in the product. And the benefits that I have found is way more energy, lots of energy. I think that's been the biggest improvement for me personally. I also have had a chronic cough for quite a long time. And I feel like taking this has supported my immune system. I don't know what you think, Kimberly, but I feel like it's really helped. I don't cough as much as I used to. And this is the only thing that I've changed. So that's the Lifelong Vitality Pack upgrade is VMG. It comes in a foundational wellness program or bundle. So we have our EOE Mega, our essential fatty acids, and our awesome PB Restore microbiome. That comes as the foundational wellness bundle. So what doTERRA did was they ran their own clinical study. They had 84 people in the study, and they took the foundational wellness products that I just showed you, and they took them for 3 months. And they came up with some really amazing benefits. So here's what the study showed. Vitamin B12 levels increased by almost 100 points. That's a huge benefit. Vitamin B12 supports your energy, your nerve health, your red blood cell production, and your brain clarity. And most people can't absorb it very well in a pill form, and you can't really get it from food. And people go and get B12 shots, right? So, how easy would that be to just take it in a drink and know that you're going to be boosting your B12? People had an improvement in their metabolic health, their thyroid function increased, and they had an A1C decrease without changing anything in their diet. Their quality of life scores also skyrocketed. So they assessed things like better sleep, digestion, mood, energy, and vitality. And all of these things had an improvement. Again, those 84 people for 3 months taking those three products without any changes in their diet or exercise. But here's the kicker that I thought was really cool. If they added copaiba soft gels, two of these with their foundational wellness package. They also had an increase in muscle mass and a decrease in body fat, again, without changing anything else. I thought that was just remarkable.
Amazing.
Amazing. So they said they had something like 60,000 data points that they were still sorting through, but they wanted us to be familiar with that with those changes. So pretty cool information about the copaiba being added to the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Let's see. So
I have to interrupt and say that during all the time I was taking that, I felt great. And when I stopped, I was just like a fish out of water looking for, and I never did find another replacement. So when I go back to that doctor, I'm going to ask him, can I just go back on this? Because I had to give up all red meat, throw out all my cast iron cookware, all of that. And I'll ask him if that was enough of a change. Can I please go back to my VMG?
yeah, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
bring your box in, bring your product information page with you and let them take
Yeah.
a look at it and say, please.
Yeah.
One of the things that they talked about too is our metabolism, right? Because it's methylated, we are actually getting the vitamins that we need. Most people that are taking store-bought, over-the-counter, Costco, Walmart, whatever vitamins, they're not absorbing most of the vitamins. So it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
So not getting an accurate reading of all of the different, the vitamin C, the vitamin B, the vitamin B12, the vitamin K, just all the minerals, everything. You're not getting it. Your body's not absorbing it. So perhaps your body is not absorbing the iron because it was getting too much of it from some iron, too much meat, all of that kind of stuff. But I would really be tempted to try that VMG, have your blood test, because I believe that it could perhaps and again, we can't recommend, we can't
Yeah, right.
diagnose or make
Right.
claims, but for me, I see how much more balanced I am, just like you were saying, Marcy, on the
Right.
lifelong mentality. I took it for years and I switched over to the VMG, but I feel like the VMG is even better. I just feel more
It
even
is.
keeled.
Hmm.
And there's something about it that just balances us better. So I almost feel like since you have given up the red meat and you have done all those, that
Other things.
perhaps because
Yeah,
the iron in there is not much.
yeah, yeah. Let us know how it goes,
You're gonna,
Marcy.
I will. I will.
Yes, we'd be anxious to know.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being on our call today, and I hope that you'll enjoy using whatever doTERRA products you pull out of your monthly box. And
Yep,
just know that you're always getting those product of the month for free when you order 125 PB before the 15th of the month. And this month it's Serenity, which is one of my favorite oils. I love that one. So lots of love to all of you. And if you have any questions, you want to schedule a Zyto, just let us know and we'll be happy to help you with that.
absolutely.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being here.
Bye.